Peter Rabbit 2. The Runaway opens with the magical sight of rolling green hills and a charming countryside where the beloved characters from Beatrix Potter's tales have come to life once more. The story unfolds with the wedding of Thomas McGregor and Bee as they exchange vows in a picturesque ceremony surrounded by their friends, both human and animal. The wedding scene captures the essence of new beginnings, as Peter Rabbit watches from among the guests, having finally accepted Thomas as part of his extended family after the events of their previous adventure together. The celebration is filled with joy and laughter as all the woodland creatures participate in this momentous occasion. Peter observes the ceremony with a mixture of happiness for Bee and cautious optimism about his future with Thomas. The wedding represents a significant milestone in their relationships as former enemies have become family members united by their love for Bee. The cinematography beautifully captures the pastoral setting with its lush gardens and rolling countryside that serves as the perfect backdrop for this heartwarming beginning. Following their honeymoon period, Thomas and Bee settle into married life with their rabbit family. The transition shows how they have adapted to sharing their home with Peter, Benjamin, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. Thomas works diligently to support Bee as she embarks on writing a children's storybook based on the adventures and personalities of Peter and his fellow rabbits. The writing process becomes a collaborative effort as Bee observes the daily antics and characteristics of each rabbit to accurately portray them in her story. However, Peter becomes increasingly disturbed as he realizes that Bee's book portrays him primarily as a mischievous troublemaker. The characterization troubles Peter deeply because he feels it reduces his complex personality to simple naughtiness, without acknowledging his good intentions or the circumstances that often lead to his adventures. This internal conflict begins to affect Peter's behavior and self-perception as he struggles with how others view him versus how he sees himself. The story takes a significant turn when a prestigious publishing company expresses interest in distributing Bee's book. Thomas and Bee decide to travel to London with Peter, Benjamin, and his sisters to meet with the publisher Nigel Basil Jones. The journey to the city represents a major step forward for Bee's career as an author, and potentially brings new opportunities for sharing Peter's stories with a wider audience. Nigel Basil Jones presents himself as a successful and influential publisher who understands the commercial potential of Peter Rabbit's stories. During their meeting, he unveils his ambitious marketing plan, which includes merchandising opportunities, promotional campaigns, and potential adaptations across. However, his vision for Peter's character aligns with the troublemaker persona that already concerns Peter, creating an even more exaggerated version of the mischievous rabbit. The publisher's presentation includes concept art and promotional materials that depict Peter as an almost villainous character rather than the complex protagonist he actually is. The billboard designs and movie concepts shown by Nigel portray Peter in ways that emphasize his disruptive behavior while ignoring his loyalty to family and friends. This commercial interpretation of his character deeply disturbs Peter as he realizes that his reputation as a troublemaker is being exploited for profit. Feeling misunderstood and misrepresented, Peter quietly slips away from the group during the meeting. His departure represents more than just physical distance as he begins to question his place within his family and whether he truly belongs with Thomas and Bee. The emotional weight of being constantly labeled as the problematic member of the group becomes overwhelming as Peter wanders through the unfamiliar streets of London. While exploring the city, Peter encounters Barnabas, an older rabbit who claims to have been a close friend of Peter's deceased father. Barnabas presents himself as someone who understood Peter's father and shares stories about their supposed friendship. This meeting appears to be a stroke of luck for Peter, who has been feeling isolated and misunderstood by those closest to him. Barnabas represents a connection to Peter's past and potentially someone who might understand him better than his current family. Their conversation is interrupted when both rabbits are captured by animal control officers who patrol the city streets looking for stray animals. The capture scene is filled with tension as Peter and Barnabas attempt to evade the officers through narrow alleyways and busy streets. Despite their efforts, both rabbits end up being taken to a local animal shelter where they are processed as strays and prepared for potential adoption. At the animal shelter, Peter and Barnabas are taken in by a young girl named Amelia who lives with her family in the city. Amelia's intentions are kind, as she wants to provide a loving home for the rabbits, but her care involves keeping them in a cage and treating them more like pets than the independent creatures they are accustomed to being. The domestic environment feels confining to both rabbits, who are used to the freedom of the countryside. Barnabas demonstrates his cunning by managing to escape from their cage and freeing Peter as well. Together they explore Amelia's house and discover the kitchen, where they begin raiding the refrigerator for food. This activity introduces Peter to a different way of life, where rabbits take what they need rather than foraging naturally or depending on the generosity of humans like Thomas and Bee. The kitchen raid becomes more elaborate as Barnabas introduces Peter to his crew of fellow city animals, including Samuel Whiskers the mouse Tom Kitten and his sister Mittens. Each member of this urban gang brings their own skills and personality to their food-gathering operations. The crew works together with practiced efficiency, suggesting they have been operating as a team for quite some time before Peter's arrival. Their food-gathering mission is complicated when Amelia's mother returns home unexpectedly with plans to get rid of the rabbits before her children return. The mother's reaction creates a chaotic chase scene through the house as the animals attempt to escape with their stolen food while avoiding capture. The scene combines comedy with genuine tension as the animals navigate furniture obstacles and tight spaces while being pursued. The chase extends into the streets, where the animals must use their knowledge of the urban environment to evade both Amelia's mother and potential animal control officers. The sequence showcases the differences between city life and country life as Peter adapts to navigating concrete surfaces, traffic, and crowded sidewalks rather than garden paths and open fields. Eventually, the animals successfully escape to Barnabas's hidden hideout At the hideout, Barnabas shares more stories about Peter's father and their supposed adventures together. He describes how Peter's father allegedly stole food to keep Peter and his sisters fed during difficult times. These stories resonate with Peter because they suggest that his tendency toward mischief and rule-breaking might be inherited traits rather than personal failings. Barnabas presents these activities as noble survival techniques rather than simple troublemaking. The hideout serves as a refuge for city animals who have learned to live independently of human care or control. The location is cleverly concealed and equipped with supplies gathered from various raids and adventures. Barnabas has created a community of sorts where animals can live according to their own rules without interference from humans who might not understand their needs or desires. While Peter is learning about city life, Thomas and Bee become concerned about his absence and begin searching for him throughout London. Their search demonstrates their genuine care for Peter despite any frustrations they might have with his behavior. Thomas in particular shows growth in his relationship with Peter by actively participating in the search and expressing real worry about the rabbits' welfare. When Thomas and Bee finally locate Peter, they find him in the company of Barnabas and his crew. The reunion is complicated by Peter's conflicting feelings about returning to his family versus exploring this new lifestyle that seems to accept and even celebrate his more adventurous nature. However, he ultimately chooses to return home with Thomas and Bee while maintaining his connection to Barnabas and his newfound understanding of his father's legacy. Back home, Peter shares his experiences with Benjamin and gradually convinces his friend and sisters to meet Barnabas and his crew. Peter's enthusiasm for his new friendships influences his family members as he describes the excitement and freedom of city life. The idea of adventure beyond their familiar garden environment appeals to the younger rabbits who have always looked up to Peter as their leader in mischievous activities. When Benjamin, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail meet Barnabas, he immediately recognizes them from Peter's descriptions and welcomes them into his plan. The older rabbit reveals his ambitious scheme to rob the farmer's market during its busiest day, when vendors will have their largest selection of premium goods available. The target of their heist is specifically the dried fruit vendors who carry expensive and delicious treats that would be impossible for the rabbits to obtain through conventional means. Barnabas presents the farmer's market robbery as the ultimate adventure that will test all of their skills while providing enough food to last for months. He describes the market's layout, vendor schedules, and security measures with the expertise of someone who has been planning this operation for quite some time. The complexity of the plan appeals to Peter's intelligence, while the risk and excitement attract his adventurous spirit. The preparation for the farmer's market heist involves recruiting additional animal allies from both the city and countryside. Mrs. Tiggy, Winkle the Hedgehog, Jeremy Fisher the Frog Pigling, Bland the pig, Felix Deer, the deer, and Tommy Brock the badger all agreed to participate in the elaborate scheme. Each animal brings unique abilities that will be essential for different aspects of the operation, from creating distractions to transportation and logistics. Meanwhile, Thomas and Bea continue working with publisher Nigel Basil Jones on the book project, but Thomas becomes increasingly uncomfortable with the direction of Nigel's marketing plans. The publisher's vision for the characters involves dressing them in contemporary clothing and placing them in increasingly outlandish scenarios that have little connection to their actual personalities or the original charm of Beatrix Potter's stories. Nigel's suggestions for future books include sending Peter and his friends on space adventures and dangerous rescue missions that would completely transform the gentle nature of the original tales. Thomas recognizes that these commercial considerations are overwhelming the authentic storytelling that originally attracted readers to Peter's adventures. He begins to question whether working with this particular publisher is truly in Bea's best interests as an author. The farmers' market operation begins on a busy Saturday morning, when vendors are setting up their stalls and early customers are beginning to browse the available goods. The market represents a microcosm of rural commerce, with families selling their homemade products ranging from fresh produce to artisanal crafts. The atmosphere is festive and community-oriented, making it seem almost tragic that this peaceful setting will become the target of an elaborate heist. The animal crew positions themselves strategically throughout the market, with each member assigned specific roles in the operation. Some animals are responsible for creating distractions, while others handle the actual theft and transportation of goods. The coordination required for the plan demonstrates Barnabas's leadership abilities and the trust he has built among his fellow animals over time. The distractions begin with seemingly innocent activities that gradually escalate into more noticeable disruptions. Jeremy Fisher creates a commotion near the pond, while Mrs. Tiggy Winkle causes confusion among the flower vendors. These initial distractions draw the attention of market security and vendors away from the areas where the actual theft will take place, allowing the robbery team to move into position undetected. Peter and his sisters focus on the dried fruit stall, which is operated by a family whose daughter Sarah has been established as having a crush on a boy from the cheese vendor family. The personal dynamics between the young vendors become part of the heist strategy, as the animals manipulate social situations to create the perfect opportunity for their theft. The plan shows Barnabas's understanding of human behavior and his ability to exploit predictable patterns. The actual theft involves carefully coordinated movements as the rabbits work together to transfer packages of dried fruit from the vendor stalls to their getaway vehicle. The operation requires precise timing and teamwork, as each rabbit must complete their assigned tasks without being detected by increasingly alert vendors and security personnel. The tension builds as the animals race against time to complete their mission. However, the carefully planned operation begins to unravel when unexpected complications arise. The collision creates a domino effect of chaos that draws unwanted attention to the area where the theft is taking place and alerts authorities to the presence of unusual animal activity. Despite the complications, the animals manage to load their stolen goods into their getaway truck, but their escape route is compromised when animal control officers arrive on the scene. The officers have been tracking unusual animal behavior throughout the city and have connected the farmers' market disturbances to the gang's previous activities. Their arrival creates a crisis situation, as the animals must choose between protecting their stolen goods and protecting each other. In the chaos that follows, Peter's family members, including Benjamin, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, are captured by the animal control officers while attempting to evade capture near a petting zoo area of the market. The capture of his loved ones represents Peter's worst nightmare, as his involvement with Barnabas and his crew has directly endangered the safety of those he cares about most. The guilt and responsibility Peter feels becomes overwhelming as he realizes the consequences of his choices. The revelation of Barnabas's true nature comes when Peter discovers that the older rabbit never actually knew his father and has been manipulating him from the beginning. Barnabas admits that he learned about Peter from reading Bea's book, and specifically sought him out because of his reputation for mischief and his access to the countryside animal community. The supposed friendship with Peter's father was entirely fabricated to gain Peter's trust and cooperation. Barnabas further reveals that his ultimate plan was to keep all the stolen dried fruit for himself, rather than sharing it with the crew as originally promised. His manipulation extends to exploiting Peter's desire for acceptance and understanding of his father's legacy. The betrayal cuts deeply because Peter had finally found someone who seemed to appreciate his adventurous nature rather than constantly criticizing. The truth about Barnabas's motivations becomes even more painful when he explains that his rejection by potential adopters at the animal shelter, due to his age, has made him bitter and calculating. Rather than seeking genuine companionship, he has chosen to use other animals to achieve his selfish goals. His crew members are equally disposable to him, as demonstrated by his willingness to abandon them when the heist goes wrong. Faced with the consequences of his trust in Barnabas and the capture of his family members, Peter experiences a moment of clarity about what truly matters to him. The excitement of adventure and the acceptance he thought he found with the city animals pale in comparison to the genuine love and concern shown by Thomas B. and his rabbit family. Despite their frustrations with his behavior, they have consistently shown that they care about his welfare and want him to be part of their lives. Peter's decision to abandon Barnabas and seek help from Thomas represents a significant moment of character growth. Rather than continuing to run away from his problems or seeking acceptance from those who would exploit him, Peter chooses to turn to the family members who have proven their loyalty even when he has been difficult to live with. This choice requires swallowing his pride and admitting that he needs help from those he has sometimes rebelled against. Thomas's response to Peter's request for help demonstrates the evolution of their relationship since the first film. Despite any lingering frustrations or concerns, Thomas immediately agrees to help rescue Peter's captured family members. His willingness to take risks for the rabbits shows that he has come to see them as genuine family members, rather than simply bees, pets, or household nuisances that he must tolerate. The rescue mission begins with Thomas and Peter working together to track down the animal control truck that has taken Benjamin and the sisters. Their partnership requires both of them to set aside their usual conflicts and focus on their shared goal of protecting their family. The cooperation between them provides a foundation for a stronger relationship, moving forward as they learn to appreciate each other's strength. Their initial rescue attempt encounters mechanical problems when their truck breaks down, leaving them stranded and running out of time to reach the captured rabbits before they are processed through the animal control system. The breakdown forces them to seek additional help and resources, highlighting the importance of community, support, and the limitations of trying to solve problems independently. Peter and Thomas turn to Bee for assistance, just as she is conducting another meeting with publisher Nigel Basil Jones. The timing of their arrival creates an interesting parallel between Peter's crisis with Barnabas and Bea's professional challenges with Nigel. Both situations involve trusted relationships that have become exploitative rather than genuinely supportive. During the meeting, Nigel presents even more outrageous suggestions for future Peter Rabbit books, including space adventures and dangerous rescue missions that bear no resemblance to the original character or stories. His proposals demonstrate a complete lack of understanding of what makes the Peter Rabbit stories appealing, and show his focus on commercial exploitation rather than authentic storytelling. Bea's realization about Nigel's intentions coincides with Peter and Thomas's arrival seeking help with their rescue mission. The parallel situations allow Bea to see clearly that both relationships involve people who claim to support and understand them, while actually trying to use them for selfish purposes. Her decision to withdraw her stories from Nigel's publishing company mirrors Peter's decision to abandon Barnabas and his crew. The family's decision to work together on the rescue mission represents a turning point in their relationships as they prioritize their care for each other over external pressures and opportunities. Bea's choice to walk away from a potentially lucrative publishing deal in order to help rescue the rabbits demonstrates that family loyalty matters more than professional success or financial gain. The rescue operation that follows involves elaborate and over-the-top missions that parody action movie sequences, while maintaining the playful tone of the Peter Rabbit stories. The family works together using each member's unique skills and knowledge to track down and recover the captured rabbits. These sequences allow for spectacular visual effects and comedic moments while advancing the emotional themes of family loyalty and cooperation. The successful rescue of Benjamin, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail provides the family with a chance to reunite and reaffirm their bonds with each other. The experience of nearly losing each other helps all the family members recognize how much they value their relationships despite the occasional frustrations and conflicts that arise from living together. The rescue also demonstrates that they are stronger when they work together rather than pursuing individual goals. With his family safe, Peter turns his attention to addressing the situation with Barnabas and his crew, who are still in possession of the stolen dried fruit from the farmer's market. Rather than simply escaping and leaving the theft unresolved, Peter chooses to take responsibility for his role in the crime and work to make things right with the vendors who were victimized by the heist. Peter Benjamin and his sisters return to Barnabas's hideout, where they confront the older rabbit and his crew about their selfish behavior and dishonest dealings. However, they discover that Barnabas has prepared for potential betrayal and has set traps to capture anyone who might try to recover the stolen goods or challenge his authority. The confrontation becomes a battle of wits as Peter must use his intelligence and creativity to outmaneuver someone who has more experience with criminal activities. The young rabbits turn the tables on Barnabas and his crew by using their own preparation and teamwork against them. They manage to tie Barnabas and his associates to ropes that are connected to a delivery truck belonging to a nearby tailor shop. When the truck driver departs for his next delivery, the criminals are dragged away and ultimately end up being captured by the same animal control officers who had been pursuing them throughout the story. The poetic justice of Barnabas's capture provides satisfying closure to his storyline, as he ends up exactly where he started at the animal control facility. His attempt to exploit Peter and use him to achieve his selfish goals ultimately results in his own downfall. The resolution demonstrates that dishonesty and manipulation have consequences while cooperation and honesty lead to better outcomes. Peter and his family take responsibility for returning all the stolen dried fruit to Zareh and her family at the farmer's market. This action requires them to admit their involvement in the theft and face the consequences of their choices rather than simply escaping without addressing the harm they caused. The decision to make amends demonstrates Peter's growth as a character and his commitment to doing the right thing even when it is difficult. The market vendor's response to the return of their stolen goods, and the rabbit's apology shows the power of taking responsibility for mistakes and making genuine efforts to repair damage. Rather than punishing the animals harshly, the vendors appreciate their honesty. This positive response reinforces the theme that people are generally willing to forgive when they see genuine remorse and effort to improve. The resolution of the farmer's market incident allows the family to return home together with their relationship strengthened by the challenges they have overcome. Peter's decision to listen more carefully to those who love him represents a significant step in his character development as he learns to balance his adventurous nature with respect for his family's concerns and guidance. The final scenes of the story take place sometime later, showing how the family has grown and changed as a result of their experiences. Thomas and Bee have welcomed a baby daughter into their family, expanding their household to include both human and rabbit children. The addition of a human baby creates new dynamics within the family as everyone adjusts to caring for the newest member. Bee's decision to title her new book, Peter Rabbit 2. The Runaway reflects her understanding of the real story that unfolded rather than the commercial interpretation that Nigel Basil Jones had wanted to create. The title acknowledges Peter's journey, while also recognizing that running away from problems is not a permanent solution. The book represents authentic storytelling based on genuine experiences rather than manufactured. The film's conclusion emphasizes themes of family loyalty, personal growth, and the importance of accepting people for who they are rather than trying to change them to fit external expectations. Peter's character arc shows that it is possible to maintain one's adventurous spirit while also being considerate of how one's actions affect others. The resolution suggests that the most fulfilling relationships are those where people are accepted. Thomas's evolution throughout the story demonstrates that it is possible to overcome initial prejudices and develop genuine affection for those who are different from oneself. His willingness to risk his safety to help rescue the rabbits shows that he has come to see them as true family members rather than tolerated additions to his household. The relationship between Thomas and Peter becomes a model for how former adversaries can become allies and eventual family. Bee's professional journey illustrates the challenges faced by artists who must balance creative integrity with commercial pressures. Her ultimate decision to prioritize her authentic voice over potentially lucrative opportunities sends a positive message about staying true to one's values. The resolution of her storyline suggests that genuine artistic expression will find its appropriate audience without requiring compromise. The supporting characters, including Benjamin Flopsy Mopsy and Cottontail, each contribute to the story's themes through their own smaller character arcs. Benjamin's loyalty to Peter, despite the dangers they encounter, shows the strength of true friendship. The sisters demonstrate that family support can help individuals overcome challenges that would be impossible to handle alone. Each character's growth contributes to the overall message about the importance of community and mutual support. The visual presentation of the story combines stunning countryside imagery with detailed urban environments, creating a rich backdrop for the characters' adventures. The contrast between the peaceful rural setting and the chaotic city atmosphere reinforces the story's themes about different ways of living and the importance of finding where none truly belong. The animation seamlessly integrates the rabbit characters into realistic environments, making their world feel authentic and immersive. The film's pacing allows for both high-energy action sequences and quieter character development moments, ensuring that the audience remains engaged while also having opportunities to connect emotionally with the characters. The balance between comedy and drama keeps the tone appropriate for family audiences, while addressing meaningful themes. The story structure provides satisfying resolutions to all major plot threads while leaving room for potential future adventures. The voice acting brings depth and personality to each character, with James Corden's portrayal of Peter capturing both his mischievous nature and his underlying good heart. The supporting voice cast creates distinct personalities for each animal character, making them memorable and engaging. The human actors, including Byrne and Domhnall Gleeson, provide grounded performances that anchor the fantastical elements in emotional reality. The film's soundtrack enhances the storytelling with music that supports both the adventurous action sequences and the more intimate family moments. The musical choices help establish the different environments and moods throughout the story while maintaining a cohesive audio experience. The sound design brings the world to life with realistic animal sounds and environmental audio that makes the settings feel authentic. The production design creates detailed and believable environments that serve the story's needs while providing visual interest and supporting the characters' journeys. The farmer's market sequence showcases the artisanal food culture, while the city environments contrast sharply with the pastoral countryside settings. Each location feels purposeful and contributes to the overall narrative structure. The film's exploration of identity and reputation addresses universal themes that resonate beyond the specific story of Peter Rabbit. Peter's struggle with being labeled as a troublemaker reflects broader issues about how people are perceived and categorized by others. The resolution suggests that while reputations may persist, it is possible to grow and change while maintaining one's essential character traits. The relationship dynamics between different generations are explored through Peter's interactions with both the elderly Barnabas and the adult Thomas MBA. Each relationship teaches Peter different lessons about trust, respect, and the complexity of adult motivation. The story suggests that wisdom comes from learning to distinguish between those who genuinely care about one's welfare and those who seek to exploit vulnerabilities. The film's treatment of consequences and responsibility shows characters learning from their mistakes rather than simply being punished for them. Peter's journey demonstrates that taking responsibility for one's actions and making efforts to repair damage are. This message encourages viewers to see mistakes as learning opportunities rather than permanent failures. The themes of authenticity and commercialization are woven throughout multiple storylines, showing how external pressures can threaten genuine relationships and creative expression. Both Peter's experience with Barnabas and Bea's dealings with Nigel illustrate how people can be exploited when others prioritize profit over authentic connection. The story's emphasis on communication and understanding shows how many conflicts can be resolved when people take time to listen to each other's perspectives and concerns. Peter's growth involves learning to hear the love behind his family's sometimes critical feedback, rather than focusing only on the criticism itself. The development suggests that strong relationships require ongoing effort and willingness to see situations from multiple viewpoints. The film's portrayal of adventure and safety explores the balance between encouraging exploration and maintaining appropriate caution. Peter's adventures with Barnabas provide excitement, but also demonstrate the importance of considering potential consequences before acting. The resolution suggests that the most satisfying adventures are those shared with people who genuinely care about one's welfare. The integration of classic children's literature characters into a contemporary setting demonstrates how timeless stories can be updated for modern audiences while retaining their essential appeal. The film respects the source material while acknowledging the differences between historical and contemporary contexts. The approach suggests that beloved characters can evolve while maintaining the qualities that originally made them special. The movie's treatment of family formation and acceptance shows how relationships can develop and strengthen over time, even when they begin with conflict or uncertainty. The blended family of humans and animals represents non-traditional family structures while emphasizing that love and commitment matter more than conventional definitions. The story celebrates diversity within family units while showing the importance of mutual respect and the film's resolution provides closure for the immediate storyline while suggesting that the characters' lives and relationships will continue to evolve beyond the events shown. Peter's commitment to listening more carefully to his loved ones indicates ongoing growth rather than a fixed endpoint. The ending suggests that personal development is a continuous process rather than a single moment of change. The production's attention to detail in both character development and visual presentation creates a rich viewing experience that rewards careful attention while remaining accessible to casual viewers. The layered storytelling provides entertainment value for children while offering deeper themes that adults can appreciate. Peter Rabbit 2. The Runaway ultimately delivers a story about growth, acceptance, and the true meaning of family that extends beyond traditional boundaries to embrace all those who show genuine love and support. The film's message about staying true to oneself, while also considering the impact of one's actions on others, provides valuable lessons wrapped in entertaining adventure and humor. The story succeeds in updating classic characters for contemporary audiences while honoring the timeless themes that made them beloved in the first place. The cinematography in Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway showcases a masterful blend of live action and computer-generated animation that creates a seamless visual experience throughout the narrative. The film opens with sweeping aerial shots of the Lake District countryside that establish the idyllic setting where Thomas and Bee have built their new life together. These establishing shots serve both narrative and aesthetic purposes, as they ground the fantastic elements of talking animals in a recognizable and beautiful real-world environment that audiences can immediately connect with and believe in despite the obvious fantasy of. The wedding sequence utilizes warm golden hour lighting that bathes the ceremony in romantic tones, while the camera work employs gentle movements that mirror the peaceful and harmonious nature of the occasion. Close-up shots of Peter watching the proceedings reveal subtle expressions of acceptance mixed with lingering uncertainty about his place in this evolving family dynamic. The visual storytelling through Peter's facial expressions demonstrates the sophisticated animation technology that allows for nuanced emotional communication through digital character creation. The urban environments present a stark visual contrast to the pastoral countryside through the use of cooler color palettes and more dynamic camera movements that reflect the energy and chaos of city life. The busy London streets are captured with handheld camera techniques that create a sense of urgency and unpredictability that mirrors Peter's emotional state as he navigates unfamiliar territory both literally and figuratively. The production design team created detailed urban sets that feel authentic and lived in rather than obviously constructed for the purposes of the film. The publisher's office sequence showcases meticulous attention to detail in the set decoration with stacks of manuscripts, concept art covering the walls, and promotional materials that create a believable representation of the commercial publishing industry. The lighting in these scenes becomes progressively harsher and more artificial as Nigel reveals his true intentions, using visual cues to support the narrative themes of this corrupting influence of commercialization on authentic. The billboard designs shown in the meeting represent actual marketing materials that could conceivably exist in the real world. The animal shelter sequences employ sterile institutional lighting and cramped compositions that emphasize the uncomfortable and dehumanizing aspects of the facility despite its well-intentioned purpose. The visual design choices reflect the emotional impact of the environment on the animal characters, while avoiding overly dark or frightening imagery that would be inappropriate for family audiences. The contrast between the cold institutional setting and the warm family environments reinforces the themes about the importance of genuine care versus institutional processing. Barnabas and his crew are introduced through shadowy alleyway scenes that utilize dramatic lighting and low camera angles to create an atmosphere of mystery and slight menace without becoming genuinely threatening. The hideout location features clever production design that transforms mundane urban spaces into an elaborate headquarters, complete with stolen supplies and makeshift furniture that reflects the resourcefulness of street dwelling. The visual design establishes the appeal of this alternative lifestyle, while hinting at its ultimately unsustainable and morally questionable foundation. The farmer's market heist sequence represents the visual centerpiece of the film, with elaborate tracking shots that follow the complex choreography of the animal crew as they execute their carefully planned operation. Multiple cameras capture the action from various perspectives, including ground-level shots that show the world from the animal's point of view, and overhead shots that reveal the full scope of the coordinated operation. The editing rhythm builds tension through increasingly rapid cuts as complications arise and the carefully planned operation begins to unravel. The chase sequences through city streets showcase dynamic cinematography that combines practical locations with digital effects to create thrilling action scenes that maintain the playful tone appropriate for family entertainment. The camera work follows the animals as they navigate obstacles and evade capture, using their natural agility and small size to access routes unavailable to their human pursuers. The visual effects seamlessly integrate the digital animal characters with real-world environments, creating believable interactions between fantasy and reality. The climactic confrontation at Barnabas' hideout employs clever visual storytelling as the rabbits turn the tables on their former criminal associates, through carefully planned reversals that are clearly communicated through the cinematography. The camera reveals the preparations the young rabbits have made while building suspense about whether their plan will succeed against more experienced adversaries. The resolution provides visual satisfaction as the villains are literally dragged away by their own devices, in a scene that combines physical comedy with poetic justice. The emotional reunion scenes between family members utilize warm lighting. The camera work becomes more stable and peaceful compared to the chaotic energy of the action sequences, providing visual rest and emotional grounding as relationships are repaired and strengthened. The production design of the family home emphasizes comfort and safety through soft textures and warm colors that contrast sharply with the harsh urban environment. The film score by Domhnall Gleeson combines orchestral arrangements with contemporary musical elements that support both the traditional storybook origins of the characters and their modern cinematic adventure. The music seamlessly transitions between gentle pastoral themes during family moments and more energetic adventure motifs during action sequences. The composer incorporates musical callbacks to the first film while sound design plays a crucial role in bringing the animal characters to life through carefully crafted vocalizations and movement sounds that feel natural and authentic. Each animal species has distinct audio characteristics that help establish their individual personalities, while the environmental soundscapes create believable acoustic spaces for both rural and urban settings. The integration of dialogue audio with the animated characters demonstrates sophisticated technical achievement. The costume design for the human characters reflects their personalities and character arcs through clothing choices that evolve throughout the narrative. Thomas begins the film in more formal attire that gradually becomes more casual and practical as he embraces his role as part of an unconventional family unit. Bee's wardrobe emphasizes her artistic sensibilities through flowing fabrics and natural colors that connect her color-side environment shade. The production design creates detailed environments that serve multiple narrative functions while providing visual interest and supporting character development. The garden setting showcases carefully manicured landscapes that reflect the harmony achieved between human and animal inhabitants, while the city locations demonstrate the complexity and potential danger of urban life. Each location feels purposeful and contributes to the overall storytelling, rather than simply providing generic backdrop. The editing rhythm varies strategically throughout the film to match the emotional tone and pacing requirements of different sequences. Quiet character development moments utilize longer takes and gentler transitions that allow audiences to absorb dialogue and emotional nuance, while action sequences employ rapid cutting that builds excitement and maintains engagement. The voice acting performances bring distinct personalities to each animal character while maintaining consistency with established traits from the previous film. James Corden as Peter captures the character evolution from rebellious troublemaker to more mature family member, while retaining the mischievous charm that makes him appealing. The visual effects team created convincing interactions between digital animal characters and live-action human actors through meticulous attention to lighting physics and movement dynamics. The animals cast realistic shadows, move with appropriate weight and momentum, and interact with physical objects in ways that support the suspension of disbelief necessary for audience investment. The technical achievement allows the fantastic elements to feel grounded and recognized. The makeup and hair design for human characters supports their character development and helps establish the passage of time within the narrative structure. Subtle changes in appearance reflect the emotional journeys experienced by Thomas and Bea as they navigate the challenges of blended family life and professional pressures. The natural and understated approach to character appearance allows the performances to take center stage without distraction from obvious artificial enhancement. The cinematographer Gluck employed a variety of lens choices and camera techniques to create visual variety that keeps the audience engaged throughout the extended runtime. Wide-angle shots establish environments and spatial relationships, while macro photography captures intimate details that would be lost in traditional coverage. The visual language supports the story themes while providing entertainment value through creative and technically sophisticated imagery. The color grading process enhanced the visual storytelling by establishing distinct moods and atmospheres for different locations and emotional beats within the narrative. The countryside scenes feature warm, saturated colors that evoke comfort and natural beauty, while urban environments utilize cooler tones that suggest complexity and potential danger. The subtle shifts in color palette guide audience emotions without obvious manipulation or heavy-handed visual effects. The production design team created practical sets and props that could accommodate both human actors and the digital animal characters while maintaining visual consistency and believability. The scale relationships between different-sized characters required careful planning and execution to ensure that interactions appeared natural and convincing. The attention to detail in set decoration adds layers of visual interest that reward careful viewing while supporting the overall. The stunt coordination and choreography for action sequences combined practical effects with digital enhancement to create exciting sequences that feel dangerous enough to generate tension while remaining appropriate for family audiences. The chase scenes and heist sequences required precise timing and coordination between multiple elements, including practical locations, camera movements, and post-production effects, work that seamlessly integrated all components into coherent entertainment. The costume department designed clothing for the animal characters that reflects their personalities while remaining practical for the animation requirements. Each character has distinct visual characteristics that help audiences distinguish between them, while the overall design aesthetic maintains consistency with the established visual world of the franchise. The attention to character-specific details adds depth and personality to what could otherwise be. The lighting design supports both the technical requirements of combining live action and animation, while serving the artistic goals of creating appropriate moods and atmospheres for different story beats. The consistent lighting treatment of both digital and practical elements helps maintain the illusion that all characters exist within the same physical space and lighting conditions. The creative use of natural and artificial light sources adds visual interest while supporting the artificial. The location scouting process identified authentic environments that could serve the practical requirements of the production, while providing visual interest and thematic support for the story elements. The special effects makeup team created practical elements that could interact convincingly with the digital animal characters while maintaining visual consistency throughout the production. The combination of practical and digital effects allows for complex interactions between different types of characters, while the seamless integration of these elements supports the suspension of disbelief necessary for audience engagement with the fantasy premise. The props department designed and created numerous practical items that the digital animal characters could interact with convincingly while serving specific story functions. From food items in the market heist sequence to household objects in the various residential settings, every prop serves both practical and aesthetic purposes. The attention to detail in prop design adds authenticity to the environments while supporting the believability of the character interaction. The transportation coordination for vehicle sequences required careful planning to accommodate both the practical requirements of filming and the narrative needs of the chase and travel sequences. The various trucks, cars, and other vehicles become characters in their own right as they facilitate story advancement while providing opportunities for both comedy and tension. The realistic portrayal of vehicle operation and maintenance adds authenticity to the adventure elements. The animal training and coordination for sequences involving real animals alongside the digital characters required expertise in both traditional animal handling and modern filmmaking techniques. The integration of practical and digital animal performances creates a rich and varied ecosystem of characters, while maintaining consistency in behavior and appearance that supports the overall storytelling goal. The post-production process involved extensive coordination between multiple departments to ensure that all visual elements combined seamlessly into a cohesive final product. The complexity of integrating live-action photography, digital animation, practical effects, and traditional post-production techniques required careful planning and execution throughout the entire production timeline. The marketing campaign for the film balanced the need to attract family audiences while managing expectations about the sequel's relationship to the beloved original stories. The promotional materials emphasized the adventure and comedy elements while highlighting the family-friendly themes that appeal to parents seeking appropriate entertainment for children. The merchandising opportunities created by the film extend the characters and world beyond the cinema experience, while providing additional revenue streams that support the continued development of the franchise. The various toys, books, and other products allow fans to continue their engagement with the characters while introducing new audiences to the stories and personalities featured in the film. The merchandise design maintains visual consistency with the film, while adapting the characters for different media and age-appropriate applications. The international distribution strategy acknowledged the global appeal of the Peter Rabbit characters, while adapting marketing and presentation elements for different cultural contexts and audience expectations. The universal themes of family loyalty, personal growth, and finding one's place in the world translate effectively across cultural boundaries, while the specific humor and cultural references remain accessible to diverse international audiences. The franchise potential demonstrated by the success of both films in the series suggests ongoing opportunities for further character development and world building within the established universe. The rich supporting cast of animal characters and the flexible premise of adventures in both rural and urban settings provide numerous possibilities for future storylines that could continue exploring themes of family growth and personal identity while maintaining the entertainment value that attracts audiences to these productions. The educational potential of the films extends beyond simple entertainment through the modeling of positive family relationships. The characters demonstrate both positive and negative behaviors while showing realistic consequences for choices and actions that help young viewers understand the importance of consideration for others and thoughtful decision-making in their own lives. The technological achievements demonstrated in the production represent significant advances in the integration of live action and digital animation techniques that influence the broader entertainment industry. The seamless interaction between human actors and digital animal characters sets new standards for believability and emotional engagement that other productions can learn from and build upon in future projects, combining practical and digital performance elements. The cultural impact of the films extends the legacy of Beatrix Potter original stories, while adapting them for contemporary audiences who may not be familiar with the traditional children's literature. The films serve as an introduction to classic characters and themes, while updating them with modern sensibilities and production values that make them relevant and engaging for current family audiences seeking quality entertainment options. The critical reception of the film demonstrates the challenges facing sequel productions that must balance audience expectations with creative innovation while maintaining the essential qualities that made the original successful. The mixed but generally positive reviews suggest that the film succeeds in providing entertainment value while acknowledging that it faces the inherent difficulties of following a successful predecessor without simply repeating the same formula with diminishing returns. The box office performance of the film reflects both the continuing appeal of family-friendly entertainment and the competitive challenges facing theatrical releases in The financial success justifies the production investment while demonstrating ongoing audience interest in these characters and the type of wholesome adventure entertainment they represent, in contrast to more intense or sophisticated offerings targeting adult audiences. The various formats and bonus features allow for deeper exploration of the production process and character development, while maintaining the accessibility that makes these films appealing to diverse family audiences with different viewing preferences and technical capabilities. The film's exploration of contemporary publishing industry practices provides sharp commentary on how beloved intellectual properties are often transformed into generic. Nigel Basil Jones represents the archetypal publisher who views creative works primarily as vehicles for generating multiple revenue streams rather than meaningful artistic expressions. His increasingly absurd suggestions for the Peter Rabbit franchise reveal how corporate entities often fundamentally misunderstand what makes certain stories resonate with audiences across generations. The transformation of Peter from a complex character with relatable flaws into a one-dimensional villain for commercial purposes mirrors real-world examples of how entertainment conglomerates have diluted beloved characters to fit predetermined marketing formulas. The billboard mock-ups and promotional concepts shown in Nigel's presentation demonstrate how marketing departments often impose their vision on creative property. The film's production timeline spanned multiple years with extensive pre-production planning required to coordinate the complex integration of live-action and digital animation elements. The scheduling challenges involved coordinating human actor availability with the extensive post-production time needed to create and integrate the digital animal characters. Location scouting required finding environments that could accommodate both practical filming requirements and the specific visual needs of the animation team. The casting process for the human roles involved finding actors who could convincingly interact with characters that would be added digitally during post-production. Byrne and Domhnall Gleeson demonstrated the specialized skills required to maintain consistent eye lines and emotional connections with invisible scene partners throughout their performances. Their chemistry as a married couple provides the emotional foundation that grounds the fantasy elements. The development of Barnabas as an antagonist required creating a character whose motivations were understandable even while his methods remained clearly wrong. The backstory of repeated rejection at adoption facilities adds layers of sympathy to what could have been a generic villain, while his manipulation of Peter's emotional vulnerabilities demonstrates sophisticated understanding of how predatory individuals exploit young people's need for acceptance and belonging. The farmers market sequence required extensive coordination between multiple departments to create a believable community event that could serve as the backdrop for an elaborate heist operation. The production design team created authentic vendor stalls with realistic products, while the extras casting department recruited local community members to populate the market with believable customers and vendors who added authenticity to the environment. The animal control subplot addresses real-world issues about urban wildlife management and the challenges faced by domestic animals who become separated from their families. The portrayal of animal control officers avoids demonizing individuals who perform necessary public safety functions while acknowledging the institutional limitations of systems designed to process large numbers of animals with limited resources for individual attention and care. The petting zoo sequence showcases the complexity of modern family entertainment, venues that attempt to provide educational experiences while managing the practical challenges of allowing public interaction with animals. The production team worked with professional animal handlers to ensure that all interactions were safe and appropriate, while creating believable scenarios that serve the narrative requirements of the heist operation. The chase sequences through London streets required extensive coordination with local authorities and traffic management to ensure public safety, while capturing dynamic action sequences in authentic urban environments. The production team utilized a combination of practical locations and controlled studio environments to create seamless sequences that maintain geographical consistency while providing the visual excitement necessary for effective action entertainment. The character design for the digital animals required balancing the anthropomorphic qualities necessary for character expression with the realistic movement and behavior patterns that maintain believability within the live-action environments. Each animal species required specific research into natural behaviors and physical characteristics that could be adapted for the storytelling requirements, while maintaining biological accuracy that supports audience acceptance of the fantasy premise. The script development process involved multiple drafts and revisions to balance the various plot threads and character arcs while maintaining appropriate pacing for family audiences. The challenge of creating meaningful consequences for character actions, while avoiding overly harsh punishment, required careful consideration of how different age groups within the target audience would respond to various story developments and resolution. The film's treatment of adult themes such as marriage, career pressure, and parenting responsibilities demonstrates sophisticated storytelling that acknowledges the complexity of real family life while remaining accessible to younger viewers. The subplot involving BA's publishing struggles provides content that adult audience members can relate to, while the adventure elements maintain engagement for children who may not fully understand the professional challenges. The integration of classic children's literature characters into contemporary settings required extensive research into the original Beatrix Potter stories to understand the essential characteristics that needed to be preserved while adapting them for modern audiences. The respect for source material demonstrates throughout the production choices, from character design to dialogue patterns, that reference the original stories without requiring prior knowledge for enjoyment of the film. The film's exploration of adoption and family formation through both human and animal perspectives provides multiple entry points for audiences dealing with similar issues in their own lives. The theme of finding where one belongs resonates with viewers who have experienced family transitions or struggled with questions of identity and acceptance within their community. The technical challenges of creating convincing fur textures and animal movement required developing new software tools and animation techniques that push the boundaries of what was possible in digital character creation. The research into animal anatomy and movement patterns informed every aspect of the animation process, from basic locomotion to subtle facial expressions that convey complex emotions without relying on human facial structures. The seasonal timing of the story's events provides natural progression markers, while the changing light and weather conditions add visual variety that prevents the extended runtime from becoming visually monotonous. The production design team incorporated seasonal elements that reflect the emotional journey of the characters, while maintaining visual consistency throughout the narrative structure. The film's portrayal of criminal activity as ultimately self-defeating provides moral guidance without resorting to heavy-handed preaching that could alienate audiences seeking entertainment rather than instruction. The supporting character development extends beyond the main animal family to include the various urban animals who comprise Barnabas's crew, each bringing distinct personalities and skills that make them memorable, despite their limited screen time. The efficient character establishment demonstrates skilled writing that creates the impression of fully developed personalities without requiring extensive exposition or backstory explanation. The film's handling of violence and conflict maintains appropriate levels for family viewing while acknowledging that meaningful stories require genuine stakes and consequences for character actions. The balance between excitement and safety ensures that younger viewers can enjoy the adventure elements without experiencing inappropriate fear or anxiety about the outcomes of the various dangerous situations encountered throughout the narrative. The international appeal of the Peter Rabbit characters stems from their embodiment of universal themes about family loyalty, curiosity, and the challenge of growing up while maintaining one's essential personality traits. The specific cultural references and humor styles translate effectively across different national markets, while the core relationship dynamics remain recognizable to audiences regardless of their cultural background. The film's environmental themes emerge naturally from the contrast between rural and urban settings, without requiring explicit environmental messaging that could feel preachy or detract from the entertainment value. The visual celebration of countryside beauty and the portrayal of urban environmental challenges allow audiences to draw their own conclusions about lifestyle choices and environmental priorities. The integration of practical effects with digital animation required extensive planning and coordination to ensure that lighting conditions, shadows, and physical interactions appeared consistent and believable throughout all sequences. The technical achievement of seamless integration sets new standards for productions combining these different visual approaches while maintaining the artistic vision necessary for effective storytelling. The film's treatment of generational differences between characters provides insight into how different life experiences shape perspectives and priorities, while demonstrating that meaningful relationships can bridge these gaps through patience, understanding, and mutual respect. The intergenerational friendships and conflicts portrayed throughout the story reflect real-world family dynamics that audiences can recognize and relate to in their own. The costume and wardrobe choices for human characters reflect their emotional states and character development while maintaining realistic appropriateness for the various settings and activities depicted throughout the narrative. The film's music supervisory choices blend original composition with carefully selected existing songs that enhance specific scenes while maintaining overall tonal consistency throughout the extended runtime. The musical choices support both the emotional content and the cultural references that add layers of meaning for adult audiences while remaining accessible and enjoyable for younger viewers. The merchandising strategy developed alongside the film production ensures that tie-in products accurately reflect the character designs and story elements while providing age-appropriate play experiences that extend engagement with the fictional world beyond the cinema viewing experience. The film's exploration of trust and betrayal through multiple character relationships provides opportunities for audiences to observe different types of relationship dynamics and their consequences. The various examples of both trustworthy and manipulative behavior create a complex moral landscape that encourages viewers to think critically about the relationships in their own lives and the qualities that make certain. The production design choices for interior spaces reflect the personalities and priorities of their inhabitants while serving the practical requirements of filming and animation integration. Each location contributes to character development through environmental storytelling that provides additional layers of meaning beyond dialogue and action, while maintaining visual interest and supporting the overall aesthetic vision of the production. The film's pacing strategy alternates between high-energy action sequences and quieter character development moments to maintain audience engagement while providing opportunities for emotional investment and thematic exploration. The rhythm of storytelling respects audience attention spans, while ensuring that entertainment value supports rather than competes with the meaningful content embedded within the adventure narrative structure. The casting of voice actors for the animal characters required finding performers who could bring distinct personalities to their roles while maintaining consistency with established character traits from previous appearances. The voice performances contribute significantly to character development and audience connection, while the integration with animation allows for nuanced emotional expression that supports the sophisticated themes explored throughout the story. The film's treatment of authority figures avoids simple categorization of adults as either purely helpful or purely obstructive, instead presenting complex characters whose actions are motivated by genuine concern, even when their methods or understanding may be imperfect. This nuanced approach to adult characters provides more realistic models for younger viewers while acknowledging the complexity of real authority. The editing choices throughout the film support both narrative clarity and emotional impact while maintaining visual continuity that helps audiences follow the complex plot developments and character relationships. The balance between coverage and pacing ensures that important story information is communicated effectively while maintaining the entertainment value necessary for audience engagement throughout the extended runtime. The film's exploration of creativity and commercialization through Bia's publishing subplot provides insight into the challenges facing artists who must balance personal vision with market demands, while maintaining the integrity that makes their work meaningful to audiences. The resolution of this storyline offers hope for artists facing similar pressures, while acknowledging the real-world difficulties of maintaining creative control in commercial entertainment industry. The character animation required developing sophisticated facial rigging systems that could convey complex emotions through animal features while maintaining biological accuracy that supports audience belief in the characters as living creatures rather than obvious digital constructions. The technical achievement of emotional expression through non-human facial structures demonstrates significant advances in automation technology and artistic technique. The film's treatment of consequences and redemption provides balanced moral guidance that acknowledges the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions, while demonstrating that growth and positive change are possible even after serious mistakes. The various character arcs illustrate different approaches to dealing with poor choices while maintaining hope for personal development and improved relationships. The location diversity throughout the film provides visual variety that prevents audience fatigue while serving specific narrative functions that advance character development and plot progression. Each environment contributes meaningfully to the storytelling while providing opportunities for different types of action and character interaction that that maintain engagement throughout the extended narrative structure. The film's handling of family expansion through the addition of Thomas and Bee as baby provides natural story development that reflects real-world family growth, while creating new dynamics and challenges for the established character relationships. The integration of a human infant into the animal family structure opens possibilities for future story development, while providing resolution to the current narrative arc. The production timeline required coordinating multiple complex technical processes while maintaining creative vision and artistic quality throughout the extended development and post-production phases. The successful completion of such an ambitious technical and artistic undertaking demonstrates the high level of planning, organization, and expertise required for modern family entertainment production that meets both commercial and artistic standards. The sound mixing and audio design in Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway creates an immersive auditory landscape that supports both the realistic environmental elements and the fantastical talking animal premise throughout the production. The challenge of balancing dialogue clarity with environmental soundscapes required sophisticated audio engineering that could accommodate both intimate character moments and large-scale action sequences without sacrificing intelligibility or emotional. The Foley work for the animal characters involved creating authentic movement sounds that reflected their different sizes and species characteristics, while maintaining consistency with the visual animation and the physics of their interactions with various surfaces and objects. Each animal required distinct audio signatures for their footsteps, breathing patterns, and incidental movements that helped establish their individual personalities through subtle auditory cues that audiences perceive. The recording techniques used for the voice performances required specialized equipment and studio configurations that could capture the nuanced emotional performances necessary for animated characters while providing the technical flexibility needed for integration with the complex post-production audio pipeline. The musical arrangements incorporated both traditional orchestral elements and contemporary pop sensibilities to create a soundtrack that appealed to multi-generational audiences while supporting the emotional beats and comedic timing throughout the narrative structure. The composer worked closely with the director and editors to ensure that musical cues enhanced rather than competed with dialogue and sound effects during crucial story moments. The ambient sound designed for different locations required extensive field recording in both urban and rural environments to capture authentic atmospheric audio that could be layered and manipulated during post-production to create believable soundscapes for each setting. The contrast between the peaceful countryside audio and the chaotic urban soundscapes reinforces the thematic elements about different lifestyle choices and their associated benefits and challenges. The dialogue editing process involved synchronizing recorded voice performances with animated character lip movements while maintaining natural speech rhythms and emotional authenticity that could survive the technical manipulations required for integration with the digital animation. The film explores themes of media representation and public perception through Peter's struggle with how others view him based on limited information rather than complete understanding of his character and motivations. This meta-commentary on how stories shape public opinion extends beyond the fictional narrative to address real-world issues about how individuals can be reduced to simplistic characterizations that ignore. The relationship dynamics between Thomas and the rabbit family demonstrate the challenges and rewards of blended family structures where different species, cultures, and communication styles must be navigated with patience and creativity. The evolution of Thomas from reluctant caretaker to protective family member illustrates how genuine relationships can develop across seemingly insurmountable differences when individuals commit to understanding and supporting each other. The film's exploration of peer pressure and belonging through Peter's attraction to Barnabas and his crew provides insight into how young people can be drawn to groups that seem to offer acceptance and excitement even when those groups engage in activities that conflict with their values or endanger their well-being. The resolution demonstrates that authentic belonging comes from relationships based on mutual respect and genuine care, rather than shared participation in risky or destructive behaviors. The production design for Barnabas's urban hideout creates a believable environment that would appeal to someone seeking independence and control, while highlighting the ultimately unsustainable nature of a lifestyle based on theft and deception. The contrast between the improvised comfort of the hideout and the genuine security of the family home reinforces themes about the difference between temporary excitement and lasting stability. The cinematographic choices during emotional revelation scenes utilize intimate framing and careful lighting to emphasize the vulnerability and growth experienced by characters as they confront difficult truths about themselves and their relationships. The visual approach to these crucial character moments demonstrates how technical film techniques can support and enhance, rather than distract from the emotional content that drives audience investment in the story outcomes. The film's treatment of law enforcement and authority figures avoids both unrealistic demonization and naive idealization, instead presenting these characters as individuals performing necessary social functions within imperfect systems. This balanced approach provides more realistic context for understanding how social institutions affect individual lives while maintaining appropriate content for family audiences. The elaborate heist sequence showcases the collaborative effort required for successful filmmaking, as multiple departments coordinated their work to create a complex action sequence that serves both entertainment and character development functions. The choreography of the farmers market operation required precise timing between animation practical effects and live-action elements, while maintaining visual clarity that allows audiences to follow the progression of events. The character development for Benjamin demonstrates how loyalty and friendship can be tested by conflicting loyalties and peer pressure, while ultimately being strengthened through shared challenges and mutual support. His journey alongside Peter provides a secondary character arc that enriches the overall narrative while offering a different perspective on the central themes of family loyalty and personal growth that drive the main storyline. The film's exploration of economic inequality and survival strategies through the urban animal community provides subtle commentary on social issues, without overwhelming the entertainment value or becoming inappropriately complex for entrevue. The contrast between the security enjoyed by the garden-dwelling animals and the precarious existence of their city counterparts reflects real-world disparities, while maintaining hope for positive change and mutual support. The visual effects pipeline required developing custom software tools and rendering techniques to achieve the seamless integration of digital animal characters with live-action environments while maintaining consistency. The technical innovations developed during production contribute to advancing the broader field of digital animation and visual effects for future entertainment productions. The film's pacing considers the attention spans and engagement patterns of different age groups within the family audience while maintaining sufficient complexity and depth to satisfy adult viewers seeking meaningful content alongside entertainment value. The structure alternates between accessible surface-level entertainment and more sophisticated thematic content that rewards closer attention and multiple viewings. The costume design for background characters and extras creates a believable populated world that extends beyond the main characters while maintaining visual consistency with the overall production aesthetic. The attention to detail in crowd scenes and secondary locations demonstrates the comprehensive world-building effort required to create convincing environments that support the fantasy premise without obvious artificiality. The film's treatment of consequences and learning from mistakes provides realistic examples of how poor decisions can lead to genuine problems, while demonstrating that taking responsibility and making amends can repair relationships. And the various character arcs illustrate different approaches to growth and change, while maintaining optimism about human and animal potential for positive development. The international distribution strategy required adapting certain cultural references and humor styles for different markets while maintaining the universal themes and character relationships that form the emotional core of the story. The successful global reception demonstrates how boundaries. The merchandising coordination ensured that tie-in products accurately reflected the film's character designs and story elements, while providing age-appropriate play experiences that extended engagement with the fictional world beyond the theatrical viewing experience. The various product categories from toys to books created multiple touchpoints for audience connection, while generating additional revenue streams that support future production investment. The film's exploration of artistic integrity versus commercial success through BA's publishing storyline reflects real-world challenges facing creative professionals who must balance personal vision with market demands while maintaining the authenticity that makes their work meaningful to audiences. The resolution provides hope for artists facing similar pressures while acknowledging the genuine difficulties of maintaining creative control in commercial entertainment industry. The technical achievement of realistic fur rendering and animal movement required extensive research into natural animal behavior and anatomy to create convincing digital performances that could convey complex emotions and personality traits through non-human physical characteristics. The success of these technical elements allows audiences to focus on character relationships and story development, rather than being distracted by obvious digital effects. The film's soundtrack integration balances original musical compositions with carefully selected existing songs that enhance specific emotional beats while maintaining overall tonal consistency throughout the extended runtime. The musical choices support both the nostalgic elements that connect to classic children's literature and the contemporary sensibilities that make the story relevant to modern audiences. The lighting design throughout different sequences serves both practical production requirements and artistic storytelling goals, while maintaining visual consistency that supports the seamless integration of live action and animated elements. The sophisticated use of natural and artificial light sources creates atmospheric depth while ensuring that technical elements serve rather than overshadow the narrative content and character development. The film's exploration of generational wisdom and learning from experience demonstrates how different life stages provide unique perspectives and insights that can benefit individuals across age groups when shared with respect and openness. The relationships between older and younger characters illustrate both the value of experience and the importance of remaining open to new ideas and different approaches to common challenges. The production coordination required managing hundreds of crew members across multiple departments and locations, while maintaining creative vision and technical standards throughout the extended production timeline. The successful completion of such a complex undertaking demonstrates the high level of organization, leadership, and expertise required for modern entertainment production that meets both artistic and commercial expectations. The film's treatment of friendship and loyalty explores how these fundamental relationships can be tested by external pressures and conflicting interests, while ultimately being strengthened through shared challenges and mutual support. The various friendship dynamics portrayed throughout the story provide examples of both healthy and problematic relationship patterns that audiences can recognize and learn from in their own lives. The character animation required developing sophisticated emotional expression systems that could convey complex feelings and relationships through animal facial features and body language, while maintaining biological accuracy that supports audience belief in the characters as living creatures rather than obvious digital constructions. The technical and artistic achievement of believable emotional communication through non-human characters. The film's exploration of identity formation and self-acceptance addresses universal themes about growing up and finding one's place in the world, while maintaining age-appropriate content and optimistic perspectives that encourage rather than discourage young viewers facing similar challenges in their own development. The character growth demonstrated throughout the story provides positive examples of how individuals can learn from mistakes. The environmental storytelling throughout various locations provides additional layers of character and thematic information beyond dialogue and action, while maintaining visual interest that prevents audience fatigue during the extended runtime. Each setting contributes meaningfully to character development and plot advancement, while showcasing the production design team's attention to detail and commitment to comprehensive. The film's handling of conflict resolution demonstrates multiple approaches to addressing disagreements and misunderstandings while emphasizing the importance of communication, trust, and mutual respect in maintaining healthy relationships. The various examples of both successful and unsuccessful conflict resolution provide learning opportunities for audiences while maintaining entertainment value through dramatic tension and emotional engagement. The special effects coordination integrated practical and digital elements seamlessly, while maintaining visual consistency that supports, rather than distracts from the storytelling and character development that form the emotional core of the narrative. The technical sophistication allows audiences to focus on relationships and themes, while the spectacular visual elements enhance, rather than overwhelm, the more intimate human and animal drama. The film's treatment of responsibility and accountability shows characters learning to consider the consequences of their actions for others, while maintaining agency and personality traits that make them distinctive and appealing. The balance between personal growth and character consistency demonstrates sophisticated understanding of how real behavioral change occurs gradually through experience rather than sudden personality transformation that would feel artificial or. The storyboard development process for Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, involved creating thousands of detailed sketches that mapped out every scene's visual composition, camera angles, and character positioning before any filming or animation work began. The pre-visualization team worked closely with the director to establish the visual language and pacing that would guide all subsequent production departments while ensuring that complex action sequences could be executed efficiently. The motion capture technology employed for certain animal movement sequences combined traditional keyframe animation with performance capture data to create more naturalistic movement patterns that enhance the believability of the digital characters. The hybrid approach allowed animators to build upon realistic motion foundations while adding the exaggerated expressions and timing necessary for effective character performance and comedic beats throughout the narrative. The film's exploration of publishing industry politics through Nigel Basil Jones' character provides insight into how creative properties can be exploited by corporate entities that prioritize market research data over artistic vision or authentic storytelling. His progressively more outlandish suggestions for the Peter Rabbit franchise demonstrate how commercial considerations can completely overwhelm the qualities. The practical effects team created numerous props and set pieces that could interact convincingly with the digital animal characters while maintaining durability throughout extended filming schedules that required multiple takes and camera setups. The challenge of creating objects that appeared appropriately scaled for different-sized characters required innovative design solutions and careful attention to perspective and proportion throughout all interactive. The film's treatment of urban wildlife survival addresses contemporary environmental issues through the lens of entertainment without becoming preachy or overwhelming younger viewers with complex ecological concepts. The contrast between the sheltered garden environment and the challenging city streets reflects real-world habitat loss and adaptation challenges faced by animal populations, while maintaining hope for coexistence and mutual understanding. The dialogue coaching for child actors in scenes with digital animal characters required specialized techniques to help young performers maintain consistent eye lines and emotional connections with invisible scene partners throughout multiple takes and camera angles. The coaching process developed methods for sustaining believable interactions that would survive the technical manipulation required for seamless integration with animated characters during post-production. The film's scoring process involved creating musical themes that could evolve and adapt throughout different emotional contexts while maintaining melodic recognition that helps audiences follow character arcs and relationship developments across the extended narrative structure. The composer utilized leitmotif techniques that associate specific musical phrases with individual characters and allowing for harmonic and rhythmic variations while allowing for harmonic and rhythmic. The marketing campaign development required balancing the need to attract new audiences unfamiliar with the characters while satisfying existing fans who had specific expectations based on the original stories and previous film adaptation. The promotional materials emphasized adventure and family themes, while carefully managing expectations about tone and content to avoid disappointing either demographic segment within the target audience. The international dubbing process involved casting voice actors in multiple languages who could match the emotional range and character personalities established by the original English language performances, while adapting dialogue rhythms and cultural references for different regional markets. The coordination required ensuring that translated dialogue maintained both linguistic accuracy and comedic timing that preserved the intended entertainment value. The film's examination of mentor relationships explores both positive and negative examples of how older individuals can influence younger people through the contrasting approaches of Thomas versus Barnabas in their interactions with Peter. The comparison demonstrates how genuine mentorship involves supporting individual growth and decision-making rather than a manipulation or exploitation of trust and vulnerability for personal gain. The costume continuity department tracked thousands of wardrobe details across multiple shooting locations and extended production schedules to ensure visual consistency that would survive the editing process and maintain believability throughout the final cut. The attention to detail in clothing wear patterns and seasonal appropriateness adds authenticity to the live-action elements while supporting the overall world-building effort. The film's exploration of sibling relationships through the interactions between Peter, Benjamin, and the sisters demonstrates how family bonds can be tested by external influences while ultimately being strengthened through shared experiences and mutual support during challenging times. The various personality types within the Rabbit family provide different perspectives on loyalty and adventure while maintaining believable family dynamics. The digital compositing process required seamlessly integrating hundreds of separate visual elements, including live-action photography, digital animation, practical effects, and matte paintings into cohesive scenes that maintained consistent lighting, perspective, and atmospheric conditions throughout all story sequences. The technical complexity of this integration demonstrates the sophisticated coordination required between multiple specialized departments. The film's treatment of economic themes through the contrast between the security of domestic life and the precarious existence of street animals provides age-appropriate introduction to concepts about social inequality and survival strategies without overwhelming younger viewers with complex socioeconomic analysis. The various animal characters represent different approaches to meeting basic needs while maintaining dignity and community connect. The location management team coordinated filming permissions and logistical support for numerous practical locations, while ensuring minimal disruption to local communities and businesses that graciously accommodated the production requirements. The authentic environments captured during location shooting provide realistic backdrops that enhance the believability of the fantasy elements while showcasing genuine regional character and beauty. The film's pacing strategy alternates between ensemble scenes that develop group dynamics and intimate moments that explore individual character growth, while maintaining visual variety that prevents audience fatigue during the extended runtime. The rhythm of storytelling considers both entertainment value and emotional investment, while ensuring that thematic content enhances rather than competes with adventure elements. The creature design process for Barnabas and his urban animal crew required creating characters that appeared weathered and street-smart, while maintaining appealing qualities that would allow audiences to understand their initial attraction to Peter without completely vilifying them as irredeemable antagonists. The visual design choices reflect their harsh living conditions while preserving enough charm to make their ultimate defeat satisfying rather than. The film's exploration of trust and verification demonstrates how individuals can be misled by charismatic figures who tell them what they want to hear rather than what they need to know for healthy development and decision-making. Peter's experience with Barnabas provides a cautionary example about the importance of evaluating relationships based on consistent actions rather than appealing words or promises of acceptance and excitement. The editing room decisions regarding scene selection and pacing required balancing numerous competing priorities, including runtime restrictions, narrative clarity, character development, and audience engagement, while maintaining thematic coherence that supports the overall storytelling goals. The final cut represents careful choices about which elements best serve the story while providing satisfying entertainment. The film's treatment of law enforcement through the animal control subplot avoids simple categorization while acknowledging both the necessary public safety functions these officials perform and the unintended consequences their actions can have on innocent individuals caught up in institutional processes. The balanced portrayal provides realistic context without inappropriate complexity for younger viewers. The visual effects supervision required coordinating multiple specialized teams working on different aspects of digital character creation, while ensuring consistency in appearance, behavior, and integration that would survive close scrutiny on large theatrical screens. The film's exploration of creativity and compromise through Bia's publishing journey reflects real-world challenges facing artists who must navigate commercial pressures while maintaining the authenticity that gives their work meaning and lasting appeal. The resolution provides hope for creative professionals while acknowledging the genuine difficulties of balancing artistic integrity with practical career considerations. The sound effects library creation involved recording and cataloging thousands of individual audio elements that could be layered and manipulated during post-production to create believable soundscapes for both realistic and fantastical story elements. The comprehensive audio palette provides the foundation for immersive environments that support audience engagement while maintaining technical quality throughout all playback forms. The film's treatment of consequences and learning demonstrates how mistakes can become opportunities for growth when individuals take responsibility for their actions and commit to making positive changes in their behavior and relationships. The various character examples provide models for healthy approaches to personal development while maintaining optimism about human and animal potential for positive change. The production design research involved studying both historical and contemporary examples of rural and urban environments to create authentic settings that could accommodate the story requirements while maintaining visual interest and thematic relevance throughout the extended narrative structure. The attention to environmental detail adds layers of meaning while supporting the overall world-building efforts. The film's handling of emotional expression through digital animal characters required developing sophisticated facial animation systems that could convey complex feelings through non-human features while maintaining biological accuracy that supports audience belief in the characters as living creatures rather than obvious technical constructions. The successful emotional communication demonstrates significant advances in both technology and artistic technique. The international release coordination required adapting marketing materials and promotional strategies for different cultural contexts while maintaining the universal themes and character relationships that formed the emotional core of the story. The successful global reception demonstrates how well-crafted entertainment can transcend cultural boundaries while respecting local preferences and sensitivities. The merchandising design process ensured that tie-in products accurately reflected the film's visual aesthetic and character personalities, while providing age-appropriate play experiences that extended engagement beyond the theatrical viewing experience. The coordination between different product categories created cohesive brand extensions that supported commercial success while maintaining artistic quality and educational value. The film's treatment of authority relationships explores how respect and cooperation can develop between individuals with different perspectives and priorities when they commit to understanding each other's needs and working toward common goals. The evolution of relationships between human and animal characters provides examples of healthy conflict resolution and mutual support that audiences can apply in their own lives. The technical innovation required for realistic fur rendering and cloth simulation pushed the boundaries of available software tools while developing new techniques that contribute to advancing the broader field of digital animation and visual effects. The artistic and technical achievements demonstrate the high level of creativity and expertise required for cutting-edge entertainment production that meets both commercial and artistic standards. The film's exploration of belonging and acceptance addresses universal human needs while providing positive examples of how individuals can find their place within supportive communities that value their unique contributions and accept their personality quirks. The resolution demonstrates that authentic belonging comes from relationships based on mutual respect and genuine care, rather than conditional acceptance based on behavioral modification. The stunt coordination for action sequences required developing safety protocols that could protect both human performers and expensive equipment while achieving the visual spectacle necessary for effective entertainment without compromising the family-friendly tone that makes the content appropriate for diverse audiences. The successful execution demonstrates professional expertise in managing complex practical effects while maintaining creative. The film's treatment of personal growth and behavioral change shows characters evolving gradually through experience rather than sudden personality transformation while maintaining the essential traits that make them distinctive and appealing to audiences. The realistic approach to character development provides hope for viewers facing their own challenges while acknowledging that meaningful change requires sustained effort and supportive relationships. The film's exploration of family dynamics through the lens of interspecies relationships provides unique insights into how different communication styles and behavioral patterns can be accommodated within loving household structures when all members commit to patience and understanding. The relationship between Thomas and the rabbit family demonstrates that successful blended families require ongoing effort and flexibility from all parties rather than expecting immediate harmony or forcing The animation pipeline development required creating custom workflows and quality control processes that could handle the massive data requirements of high-resolution character animation, while maintaining artistic consistency across multiple production facilities and international team members. The technical infrastructure developed during production represents significant investment in tools and processes that advance the capabilities available for future animated entertainment projects. The film's treatment of media literacy through Peter's experience with his own story being misrepresented provides age-appropriate introduction to concepts about how information can be manipulated or oversimplified for commercial purposes. The contrast between authentic storytelling and exploitative marketing demonstrates the importance of critical thinking when consuming media while maintaining entertainment value appropriate for family audiences. The location photography required extensive scouting and testing to identify environments that could provide authentic backdrops for both live-action and animated elements, while accommodating the complex technical requirements of hybrid production methods. The successful integration of real-world locations with fantasy story elements demonstrates sophisticated understanding of how environmental authenticity enhances rather than conflicts with imaginative storytelling. The film's exploration of peer influence and decision-making shows how young people can be attracted to groups that seem to offer excitement and acceptance while learning to evaluate whether those relationships support or undermine their long-term well-being and values. Peter's journey with Barnabas provides cautionary examples about the difference between genuine friendship and manipulative exploitation of emotional needs. The costume department coordination between live-action and animated elements required maintaining visual consistency in clothing textures, colors, and movement patterns that would appear believable when human actors interacted with digital animal characters wearing similar materials. The technical challenge of matching practical and digital costume elements demonstrates the attention to detail required for seamless fantasy entertainment. The film's treatment of redemption and second chances explores how individuals can move beyond past mistakes when they demonstrate genuine remorse and commitment to positive behavioral change while maintaining accountability for previous actions. The various character arcs provide examples of both successful and unsuccessful attempts at personal growth while emphasizing the importance of supportive relationships in facilitating positive change. The musical composition process involved creating themes that could be adapted and developed throughout different emotional contexts while maintaining melodic recognition that helps audiences follow character relationships and story progression across the extended narrative structure. The integration of musical elements with action sequences and dialogue scenes required precise timing and coordination between multiple post-production departments. The film's examination of corporate culture through the publishing industry subplot provides insight into how commercial entities often prioritize market research over creative vision, while demonstrating the importance of maintaining artistic integrity even when facing financial pressures. The resolution offers hope for creative professionals while acknowledging the real-world challenges of balancing personal vision with practical career consideration. The digital environment creation required building detailed three-dimensional worlds that could accommodate both live-action photography and animated character performances, while maintaining visual consistency and atmospheric believability throughout all story sequences. The virtual set extensions and matte painting work demonstrate the sophisticated artistry required for convincing fantasy world building in contemporary entertainment. The film's treatment of communication and understanding emphasizes how many conflicts can be resolved through honest dialogue and willingness to see situations from multiple perspectives rather than insisting on single viewpoints or predetermined solutions. The various relationship dynamics portrayed throughout the story provide examples of both effective and ineffective communication strategies that often. The practical effects coordination required developing innovative solutions for creating believable interactions between human actors and invisible digital characters, while maintaining safety standards and production efficiency throughout extended filming schedules. The successful integration of practical and digital elements demonstrates the collaborative expertise required for modern hybrid entertainment production. The film's exploration of economic inequality through the contrast between domestic security and street survival addresses social issues through entertaining storytelling without overwhelming younger viewers with complex socioeconomic analysis. The various animal characters represent different approaches to meeting basic needs while maintaining dignity and community connections, despite challenging circumstances. The voice recording process required specialized studio techniques and equipment configurations that could capture nuanced emotional performances while providing the technical flexibility needed for integration with complex animation pipelines. The coordination between voice actors and animation teams demonstrates the sophisticated collaboration required for believable character performance in digital entertainment. The film's treatment of leadership and responsibility shows how different approaches to guiding others can have vastly different outcomes depending on whether leaders prioritize their own interests or genuinely support the growth and well-being of those who trust them. The contrast between Thomas and Barnabas as authority figures provides clear examples of positive leadership styles. The cinematography coordination between live action and animation required maintaining consistent visual language and technical standards that would allow seamless integration of different production elements while serving the artistic vision and storytelling requirements. The successful blending of multiple visual approaches demonstrates sophisticated understanding of how different techniques can complement rather than compete with each other. The film's exploration of identity formation addresses how individuals develop their sense of self through interactions with others, while learning to distinguish between authentic feedback and manipulation designed to serve others' purposes, rather than support genuine personal growth. Peter's journey provides examples of both helpful and harmful influences, while maintaining optimism about the possibility of positive development. The production management required coordinating hundreds of crew members across multiple departments, locations, and technical specialties, while maintaining creative vision and quality standards throughout extended development and post-production timelines. The successful completion of such a complex undertaking demonstrates the organizational expertise and leadership skills required for ambitious entertainment projects. The film's treatment of friendship loyalty demonstrates how genuine relationships can survive disagreements and challenges when built on foundations of mutual respect and authentic care, rather than convenience or shared participation in questionable activities. The various friendship dynamics provide examples of both healthy and problematic relationship patterns that audiences can recognize in their own experiences. The special effects supervision required maintaining technical consistency and artistic quality across numerous specialized teams working on different aspects of digital character creation and environmental integration. The coordination between departments demonstrates the collaborative expertise required for convincing fantasy entertainment that meets both artistic and commercial expectations. The film's exploration of consequences and learning shows how individuals can grow from their mistakes when they take responsibility for their actions and commit to making positive changes in their behavior and relationships with others. The realistic approach to character development provides hope, while acknowledging that meaningful change requires sustained effort and supportive community connections. The sound design integration required creating audio landscapes that could support both realistic environmental elements and fantastical talking animal performances while maintaining clarity and emotional impact throughout all story sequences. The sophisticated layering of different audio elements demonstrates the technical artistry required for immersive entertainment experiences. The film's treatment of cultural adaptation through the international distribution process demonstrates how universal themes can transcend specific cultural contexts while respecting local preferences and sensitivities in different market regions. The successful global reception illustrates the power of well-crafted storytelling to connect with diverse audiences across cultural and linguistic boundaries. The animation quality control processes required maintaining consistency in character appearance, behavior, and emotional expression across thousands of individual shots while coordinating work between multiple international facilities and production teams. The technical achievement of seamless character performance demonstrates the sophisticated pipeline management required for high-quality animated entertainment. The film's exploration of artistic integrity versus commercial pressure provides insight into challenges facing creative professionals who must navigate market demands while maintaining the authenticity that gives their work lasting meaning and appeal. The resolution offers encouragement for artists while acknowledging the genuine difficulties of balancing personal vision with practical financial consideration. The lighting coordination between practical and digital elements required sophisticated technical expertise to ensure that all visual components appeared to exist within consistent atmospheric conditions throughout all story sequences. The successful integration demonstrates the attention to detail and technical proficiency required for believable fantasy entertainment production. The film's treatment of generational wisdom explores how different life experiences provide unique perspectives that can benefit individuals across age groups when shared with respect and openness to learning from others, regardless of their background or circumstances. The relationships between characters of different ages illustrate both the value of experience and the importance of remaining receptive to new ideas. The merchandising coordination ensured that tie-in products accurately reflected the film's character designs and thematic content, while providing age-appropriate entertainment experiences that extended engagement beyond theatrical viewing. The successful product development demonstrates understanding of how different media formats can complement rather than compete with the primary entertainment experience. The film's exploration of environmental themes through the contrast between rural and urban settings provides subtle commentary on lifestyle choices and their consequences, while maintaining entertainment value and avoiding preachy messaging that could alienate audiences seeking escapist entertainment. The visual celebration of natural beauty encourages appreciation for environmental preservation without overwhelming the adventure narrative. The technical innovation required for realistic animal movement and expression pushed the boundaries of available animation tools, while developing new techniques that contribute to advancing the broader field of digital entertainment production. The artistic and technical achievements demonstrate the creative problem-solving required for cutting-edge family entertainment that meets both commercial and artistic standards. The film's treatment of responsibility and accountability shows characters learning to consider the impact of their actions on others, while maintaining agency and distinctive personality traits that make them appealing and relatable to audiences. The balance between personal growth and character consistency provides realistic models for behavioral development that viewers can apply in their own lives. The production design research involved studying authentic environments and cultural contexts to create believable settings that could serve story requirements while maintaining visual interest and thematic relevance throughout the extended narrative structure. The comprehensive world building demonstrates the attention to detail required for immersive entertainment experiences that reward careful viewing. The film's handling of conflict resolution provides examples of both successful and unsuccessful approaches to addressing disagreements while emphasizing the importance of communication, trust, and mutual respect in maintaining healthy relationships. The various examples offer learning opportunities for audiences while maintaining entertainment value through dramatic tension and emotional engagement. The visual effects pipeline coordination required managing complex technical processes while maintaining artistic vision and quality standards throughout all production phases from initial concept development through final delivery for theatrical release. The successful integration of multiple technical specialties demonstrates the collaborative expertise required for ambitious contemporary entertainment projects. The film's exploration of belonging and acceptance addresses fundamental human needs while providing positive examples of how individuals can find supportive communities that value their unique contributions and accept their personality characteristics without requiring fundamental behavioral modification. The resolution demonstrates that authentic belonging emerges from relationships based on genuine understanding and mutual respect. The editing process for Peter Rabbit 2. The Runaway involved assembling over 300 hours of raw footage into a cohesive 93-minute narrative that balanced multiple storylines, character arcs, and tonal shifts while maintaining audience engagement throughout the extended runtime. The post-production team worked for 18 months to integrate live-action performances with digital animation while refining the pacing to ensure that both action sequences and quieter character moments received appropriate emphasis and screen time. The film's exploration of modern family structures extends beyond the interspecies household to examine how contemporary families navigate career pressures, parenting responsibilities, and maintaining relationships. The subplot involving Thomas and Bea's professional aspirations demonstrates how couples must balance individual goals with family needs, while the Rabbit family dynamics illustrate how siblings support each other through challenging circumstances and conflicting loyalties. The costume design team created over 200 individual wardrobe pieces for human characters, while coordinating textile patterns and color schemes that would complement rather than The challenge of maintaining visual consistency between practical costumes worn by human actors and the digitally created clothing elements for animated characters required extensive collaboration between multiple departments throughout the production process. The film's treatment of urban versus rural lifestyle choices provide overwhelming family audiences with complex philosophical debates about environmental preservation or economic development. The contrast between the peaceful garden environment and the chaotic city streets reflects ongoing cultural conversations about lifestyle priorities while maintaining entertainment value through adventurous storytelling and comedic situations. The voice recording sessions for animated characters required specialized sound booth configurations that could accommodate the extended dialogue sequences while providing acoustic isolation necessary for clan audio capture. James Corden recorded his Peter Rabbit dialogue over 18 months, as the script evolved through multiple revisions, while the animation team refined character movements and emotional expressions to match his vocal performance. The film's exploration of publishing industry practices through Nigel Basil Jones' character provides satirical commentary on how commercial entertainment often prioritizes market research over authentic creative excellence. His increasingly absurd suggestions for franchise expansion, including space adventures and dangerous rescue missions, represent real-world examples of how beloved intellectual properties can be exploited for profit without regard for the qualities that originally made them appealing to audiences. The location scouting process involved visiting over 50 potential filming sites across Australia and England to identify environments that could accommodate both practical filming requirements. The production team prioritized authentic agricultural settings and historic architecture that would provide visual interest, while supporting the story themes about tradition versus modernization and rural versus urban lifestyle choices. The film's treatment of mentorship relationships explores how influential adults can either support or exploit young people depending on their motivations and priorities. The contrast between Thomas, who gradually learns to understand and support Peter, despite their initial conflicts, and Barnabas, who manipulates Peter's emotional needs for selfish gain, provides clear examples of positive versus negative adult influence on adolescent development and decision-making. The digital compositing pipeline required coordinating work between 12 international visual effects facilities while maintaining consistent character appearance. The technical challenge of seamlessly blending practical photography with computer-generated animation pushed the boundaries of available software tools while developing new techniques that advance the broader field of hybrid, live action, and animated entertainment production. The film's exploration of consequence and redemption demonstrates how individuals can learn from poor decisions while making positive changes in their behavior and relationships. Peter's journey from rebellious troublemaker to more considerate family member illustrates realistic character development that occurs gradually through experience rather than sudden personality transformation that would feel artificial or unearned for family audiences. The marketing campaign development required creating promotional materials that would appeal to multiple demographic segments, including children who enjoy adventure stories, parents seeking family-friendly entertainment. The balance between showcasing spectacular visual effects and emphasizing heartfelt family themes demonstrates understanding of how different audience segments respond to various marketing approaches and messaging strategies. The film's treatment of sibling relationships through the interactions between Peter Benjamin and his sisters provides examples of both healthy family support systems and the challenges that arise when The various personality types within the rabbit family represent different approaches to adventure and risk-taking while maintaining believable family dynamics that reflect real-world sibling relationships. The production design team created detailed, three-dimensional environments for over 40 different locations, while ensuring visual consistency and atmospheric believability throughout all story sequences. The challenge of building sets that could accommodate both human actors and digital animal characters required innovative design solutions and careful attention to scale, relationships, and perspective throughout all interactive elements and background details. The film's exploration of identity formation addresses how young people develop their sense of self through interactions with peers and authority figures, while learning to distinguish between authentic feedback and manipulation designed to serve others' purposes. Peter's experience with both supportive family members and exploitative criminal associates provides contrasting examples of how different relationships affect individual development and decision-making processes. The sound mixing process involved balancing hundreds of individual audio elements, including dialogue, music, sound effects, and environmental ambience, while maintaining clarity and emotional impact throughout all story sequences. The sophisticated layering of different audio components demonstrates the technical artistry required for immersive entertainment experiences that support rather than distract from narrative content and character development. The film's treatment of authority relationships explores how respect and cooperation can develop between individuals with different perspectives and priorities when they commit to understanding each other's needs and working toward common goals. The evolution of relationships between human and animal characters provides examples of healthy conflict resolution and mutual support that audiences can apply in their own family and community interactions. The international distribution strategy required adapting certain cultural references and humor styles for different regional markets, while maintaining the universal themes and character relationships that form the emotional core of the story. The successful global reception demonstrates how well-crafted entertainment can transcend cultural boundaries while respecting local sensitivities and preferences in different international markets and demographic segments. The film's exploration of creativity versus commercialization through BA's publishing storyline reflects contemporary challenges facing artists who must navigate market demands while maintaining the authenticity that gives their work lasting meaning and appeal. The resolution provides encouragement for creative professionals while acknowledging the genuine difficulties of balancing personal vision with practical financial considerations in commercial entertainment industries. The animation quality control processes required maintaining consistency in character appearance, behavior, and emotional expression across thousands of individual shots while coordinating work between multiple international films. The technical achievement of seamless character performance demonstrates the sophisticated pipeline management and artistic expertise required for high-quality family entertainment that meets both commercial and creative standards. The film's treatment of friendship loyalty demonstrates how genuine relationships can survive disagreements and challenges when built on foundations of mutual respect and authentic care. The various friendship dynamics provide examples of both healthy and problematic relationship patterns that audiences can recognize and learn from in their own social interactions and community relationships. The special effects supervision required coordinating complex technical processes while maintaining artistic vision and quality standards throughout all production phases, from initial concept development through final delivery for theatrical release. The successful integration of multiple technical specialties demonstrates the collaborative expertise required for ambitious contemporary entertainment projects that combine practical and digital production techniques. The film's exploration of environmental themes through the contrast between rural and urban settings provides subtle commentary on lifestyle choices and their consequences, while maintaining entertainment value and avoiding preachy myths. The visual celebration of natural beauty encourages appreciation for environmental preservation without overwhelming the adventure narrative with explicit ecological messaging. The technical innovation required for realistic animal movement and expression pushed the boundaries of available animation tools, while developing new techniques that contribute to advancing the broader field of digital entertainment production. The artistic and technical achievements demonstrate the creative problem-solving and collaborative expertise required for cutting-edge family entertainment that meets both commercial success metrics and artistic quality standards. The film's treatment of family expansion through the addition of Thomas and Bee's baby provides natural story development that reflects real-world family growth, while creating new dynamics and challenges for established. The integration of a human infant into the animal family structure opens possibilities for future story development, while providing satisfying resolution to the current narrative arc and character development themes. The merchandising coordination ensured that tie and products accurately reflected the film's character designs and thematic content, while providing age-appropriate entertainment experiences that extended engagement beyond theatrical viewing. The successful product development demonstrates understanding of how different media formats can complement, rather than compete with, the primary entertainment experience, while generating additional revenue streams that support future production investments. The film's exploration of responsibility and accountability shows characters learning to consider the impact of their actions on others while maintaining agency and distinctive personality traits that make them appealing and relatable to audiences. The balance between personal growth and character consistency provides realistic models for behavioral development that viewers can apply in their own lives while maintaining entertainment value through dramatic tension and comedic situations. The production coordination required managing complex technical processes while maintaining creative vision and quality standards throughout extended development. The successful completion of such an ambitious undertaking demonstrates the organizational expertise, leadership skills, and collaborative problem-solving required for modern entertainment projects that combine multiple technical specialties and international production facilities. The film's handling of conflict resolution provides examples of both successful and unsuccessful approaches to addressing disagreements while emphasizing the importance of communicating healthy relationships and mutual respect in making. The various examples offer learning opportunities for audiences while maintaining entertainment value through dramatic tension, emotional engagement, and satisfying resolution of character conflicts and story challenges. The visual effects pipeline coordination required managing complex technical processes while maintaining artistic vision and quality standards throughout all production phases. The successful integration of multiple technical specialties demonstrates the collaborative expertise required for ambitious contemporary entertainment projects that push the boundaries of what is possible in hybrid live-action and animated production techniques while delivering satisfying family entertainment experiences.